Welcome to the CyBUr Guy Podcast, your source for engaging cyber education, cyber discussions, and a look at current cyber news and trends with retired FBI Special Agent Darren Mott.
Hello, friends. Welcome to this special pop-up micropod edition of the CyBUr Guy Podcast. I'm your host, retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Darren Mott, and author of the new book, Get Cyber Smart. User-friendly guide to protecting yourself, your business, and your family online. I actually got the subtitle there wrong, but that's okay. You'll figure it out when you get there. You can find it on Amazon if you're so inclined, both digital and paperback copy. I wanted to pop on real quick and do a quick episode. I'm doing this actually in a video format too that I'll post to YouTube and LinkedIn a little later on. But I wanted to kind of talk about a kind of a venture I'm kind of taking on, and I wanted to kind of make an offer to businesses out there. So I do a lot of presentations, and recently, actually yesterday, I did a presentation that looked like this to the Alabama Insurance Mutual. I'm sorry, it's not even right. Attorneys Insurance Mutual of Alabama, which basically I talked to a bunch of law firms about cyber threats specifically to law firms. And it got me thinking, hey, there's obviously cyber threats to every industry, to healthcare, to finance, to law firms, to accounting firms, insurance firms, all that kind of stuff. And so the reason I'm popping in here real quick is to talk about this is something I'm happy to do for any group that wants to get a better understanding of the cyber threats that are specific to their industry. So this particular presentation was geared towards law firms and talking to them about that. If you're a healthcare entity, I'm happy to do it for that as well. If you are finance, I can talk to that, accounting, because if you look at the news and if you also listen to the Cyber Smart Morning News Update, which is another podcast I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week, I talk about the influx of cyber crime that's going on all across the nation to all sorts of entities, big, small, and otherwise. And so if the big companies like Leidos, which happened today, or was reported today or late yesterday, that this large defense contractor got compromised and a lot of private information was taken from them. We know the MGM breach that happened recently. There's the Windows issue, all that kind of stuff. So there's these large companies that have plenty of money to protect themselves cyber-wise, but yet they don't. So, and I've said this many times, I continue to say it, and we'll continue to preach it from the rooftops. For small companies and medium companies, how are you protecting yourselves? Are you even aware of what the threats are that are targeting you? So, at the end of all my presentations, I offer 30 minutes to an hour of free consulting just to kind of get an idea of what your business does, and are you in the right place from a cyber hygiene perspective, or are you not? And are there things that you need to do to help protect yourself? So I'm popping on here to kind of make that offer as well. If you just want the presentation, if you have a group that wants to hear the presentation, you can reach out. I'm happy to set that up. It's no cost for me to do the presentation. If you're a business and would like 1 hour free consulting, I'm happy to do that as well. Just kind of talk about where you're at and how you can do better, or how you can at least start down the road from not doing anything or thinking of anything from a cybersecurity perspective to actually getting to something. That includes maybe looking at doing a risk assessment, or doing, I can get friends that can do penetration tests and do a host of things. But the key is you have to ask. You have to find help from someone. So I'm doing this quick little drop-in podcast to say, hey, I'm here to help do that kind of thing, at least get you starting thinking about it. So if it's something that's of interest to you, feel free to reach out to me, Darren, at thecyburguy.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn watching this now, then just reply to me here. Cyber, remember, is spelled CYBUR. Plus, also check out 2 of my other podcasts, Cyber Smart Morning News Update. I do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, I should say almost every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I miss, but kind of talks about what's going on in cyber news. You kind of understand who's getting targeted, and if it's a company you use, is your information perhaps lost in that as well, and what do you need to do to protect yourself? I've started a new podcast called Tactical Cyber. That one, actually, the cyber spelled the regular way, CYBER. I do that with a friend of mine, Paul Perry, and we talk about practical, tactical things you can do to protect yourself, your business, or your family online. So I've only done 2 episodes of that, so you can find that. Just look it up, Tactical Cyber, it'll pop right up. Same thing with Cyber Smart Morning News Update, although in that one, cyber is spelled CYBUR, so make sure you spell it right if you're looking for it. But as always, feel free to reach out if you have questions, thoughts, or comments. I'm happy to help anyone who's willing to ask. And the key thing is you just have to ask. Now, am I the best expert in the world for this? Probably not. I'm sure there's many people that are smarter than I am. But you got to get help from somewhere. So if it's not me, find help from someone to help get you in a state where you were not necessarily going to become a cyber victim and have issues down the road. So that is my recommendation to you. And that is why I popped in here real quick to do this quick little micro CyBUr Guy podcast for you. So again, if you have questions, hit me up, Darren@cyburguy.com, because you know that knowledge is protection. If we can understand the threats targeting us, we can assess our risk, proceed wisely. Thanks so much. Have a cyber safe day, and we will talk again soon.